Austin Healey, known for breaking some speed records back in the day. I guess you could say that I can credit or blame, depending on your perspective, my ownership of an Austin Healey on my cousin John up at the British invasion in Stowe, I don't know, 25 or 30 years ago. Looking at Austin Healey's. He had a Bug-Eye Sprite at the time, and I guess he had a square body Austin Healey in parts. And anyway, he always wanted a Healey 3000 and wound up finding one at Stowe in the flea market and eventually bought that car. But anyway, that weekend he was telling me all about Austin Healey's. He kept saying, "So you got British cars, why don't you have any Austin Healey's? What's the matter with you?" So I said, all right, well, let's look at these Austin Healey's and tell me about them. What the different models, the 3000 and the 106 and the 100, and what the heck is it all about? So we spent some time looking at a Healey 100, and it was the one that I found the most interesting. The Healey 100 had a beautiful shape to it. This was the first of what they call the big Healeys. A grille that was different than the other big Healeys. Subtleties like no door handles, so it'll be a smooth side. You have to reach inside the car for the handles. A windshield that folds down to let you be in full race mode. In the back, no gas cap on the outside of the car. The gas cap was inside the trunk. A little inconvenient, but again, the idea was to make the body as smooth as could be. So I said to my cousin John, well, if I was going to get a Healey, I think I'd want to get a Healey 100. It doesn't have those silly back seats that the later 3000s had to pretend that they were family cars. But anyway, lo and behold, I wound up with this Healey 100 that shut up in eBay over a holiday weekend, and I got it at a real reasonable price, and that was, I don't know, 20 years ago or whatever. So today we're sorting out the Healey 100. Overdrive won't work. I had this car on the road for a few years, but when I stopped driving it, the overdrive wasn't working. You know, you drive along and top gear, and hit the switch, it would not go into overdrive. So I've been going through the diagnostics step by step of what to do. The first thing you do when your overdrive isn't working is you check the oil level and make sure you got plenty of oil. And as it turned out, I was down a lot of oil. I mean, I was down like over 2 quarts. So I hoped filling it up with oil would solve my problem. It didn't. So next thing, you consider the throttle switch here, which is part of the circuit. You make an adjustment on this with your ohm meter based on the throttle position. So anyway, I went through that whole drill. Got that sorted out, got it adjusted. Still did not solve my problem. So the next thing you do is, you check the relays. So the BN1, unlike the BN2, Healey 100, has 2 relays and not just 1 relay. So, you do diagnostics on that and go through it all and check the leads, check when you have continuity, when you have polarity and all that good stuff on those relays. And so that all checks out. And you go through a number of tests and things you do, and you got to click when you move the levers. And anyway, it was time to take the transmission tunnel off and get down into the transmission and overdrive and take a look at the various components that are involved in that circuit down there. So to get to the overdrive unit, the transmission, you have to remove the transmission cover, interior bits and pieces to get down to it. Eventually you get yourself down to a point where you can get at the gearbox and the overdrive unit. And down here is a solenoid that when you hit all the switches and everything is in the right position, it pulls up a lever down here and it kicks the transmission into overdrive. Well, the solenoid unit that sits on there, when I first took it apart, I found it was hot to the touch. So clearly there was some kind of a short inside the solenoid unit. So I dismounted it and bench tested it with some electricity, and I couldn't get it to function properly. So I started prying it apart and pulling it apart, and there's some points inside here, and I can't get it to function properly, bench testing it. And what's supposed to happen is you hit juicier, and down inside there, it pushes this little lever here is down inside there, and it pushes it, goes in and out, and that's what puts you in overdrive, out of overdrive, in overdrive, out of overdrive. So I'm going to have to see if I can get that solenoid part. The good news is the BN1 Austin Healey has different setup, different wiring and so forth, a couple of extra parts from the other Series 2 or BN2 Austin Healey 100s, and even different yet from the Austin Healey 3000. But this is the Lake Cockney Normandyville overdrive that was so common in the British cars, and Volvo even used them. So I ought to be able to get that solenoid, but it's kind of funny as I looking through my various old parts catalogs and parts books trying to find a parts number for this. Lo and behold, I find a flyer from 2004 from this Healey dealer, Healey Haven, and what's he promoting but the overdrive solenoid that I need, with a little footnote: at a price like this, you should buy one. Sooner or later, it's just a matter of time you're going to need it. So 2004, it was $95 on sale. So it'll be fun to see what the price is now. And damn it, I should have bought it and put it on a shelf and I'd have it and I'd be all set to go. But now we'll see if we can find what we need for a Healey 100 overdrive solenoid. And I'll let you know how we do.